With the Switch reveal just a few days away, let's talk about some games that'll fit really well on the system.
Let's go.
We finally made it. The Switch is going to be revealed completely this week. So we can buckle down and hope for some game announcements or look forward to some more stuff at this E3. And the first game that I would really love to see is a new Kid Icarus Uprising. That game was really great on the 3DS. The main problem that they had with it, honestly, was the controls. And this one has the dual analog, so that'll fix a ton of the problems. If there's a touchscreen, great. That's just another thing that you can add onto it. But I feel like with the dual analog, that's going to help a lot of the problems that they had with that game.
So you think as opposed to redefining the franchise, it would be better just to make a sequel to Uprising based off what it was for the 3DS? I mean, obviously introducing new elements to it, but just using that same basis.
I think that would work really well. I mean, they could go a totally different route if they wanted to, but the controls, I think, would just work much better. Even if they did a remake of the 3DS version, I hope they don't. I would love a new game. But if they even did a remake, I feel like the Switch version would be like the definitive version at that point.
I mean, an HD remake would be cool, but I feel like they owe it to Kid Icarus as a franchise to get something new and fresh. And
they do.
I feel like Uprising did have a lot of potential, but toward the end of the game, I was getting pretty frustrated with the controls, especially when it kicked up and challenged. But hopefully they can make it really challenging, because that's what Kid Icarus is.
Not to mention, the visuals in that game were awesome, so an HD version of that would just be so much better. It would look amazing.
Yeah, that would be sweet. And good fan service, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which for the Switch, Nintendo's going to have to do more than the Wii U.
Oh, absolutely.
So fan candy is going to be huge.
I'm not.
And speaking of fan candy, obviously, Metroid. They could go many directions with this, hopefully not Other M. I mean, it was okay, but I'd be okay leaving it in the past. Going back to Metroid Prime would be really cool. It was a popular game. I know fans would respond to that well, and I think with the controls, it would work really well with it.
So you're saying you would like Federation Force 2?
Yes, that's exactly what I just said.
The fans would just go nuts for that.
It's like you can read my mind. Just
maybe not in the way Nintendo had hoped.
Yeah, and maybe Metroid Prime along with some, classic elements as well. Some side-scrolling segments would be cool.
If they had some more classic bosses in there.
Yeah. Get Ridley in there. Kraid. Oh, that'd be some Mother Brain.
Well, Ridley's been in like every Metroid Prime game, hasn't he?
And Smash Bros.
I can't remember. I can't remember if he was in 2, but I know he was in 1 and 3.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Echoes, but I'd have to revisit that. So hopefully a Metroid game is in the works. I would really enjoy that. I mean, especially in HD.
I feel like they have to. There wasn't anything for the Wii U, so there's really nothing stopping them from doing it this time.
It's so overdue. So that's got to happen.
Yep. Another game that would work really well that I know I've talked about before, but it's Animal Crossing. That game, I feel like it came out on the GameCube, but the times I've really gotten like super into it is when it's been on handheld. So Wild World and New Leaf are the times that I've totally got like completely invested in the game. So a Switch version would only make it that much worse for me, honestly, but in a good way. Because now you're going to have the on-the-go that the Switch has, plus you're going to have the amazing HD visuals when you hook it up to your TV, so you can play it around there. And a lot of the times when it was on my TV, it's somebody else wanted to use the TV, but Animal Crossing is like you kind of want to do it every single day for a little chunk of time.
Absolutely. And you want to take it with you, too. It's just a really easy pick-up-and-play game.
Right. So then, if somebody else wants to use the TV, you can still pick it up and use it for the few minutes a day you need to, plop it back, and all that great stuff.
Yeah, you kind of get the best of both worlds then, with the handheld and the visuals of the console.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It could only make it better.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in Animal Crossing. I think New Leaf, I have 450 hours logged in, which I'm a little embarrassed to admit, but
I would have a lot if my save file didn't get deleted. So
yeah, that hurts. But Animal Crossing would be amazing. I'd spend a lot of time on that.
Hoping for that one. I don't think it'll be a launch sort of thing, just because they just did that whole big Amiibo update and they added a lot of stuff to New Leaf. But I can definitely see in a year or two if they tried to push an entirely new game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think any of the games we've brought up so far will be probably even within the first year of launch window. This is hopefully in the next couple years, I'm hoping, unless they have a huge surprise. And I mean, the thing with Nintendo is you never really know.
I don't know what Sakurai's been up to, and he did do Kid Icarus Uprising, so if they were going to do something, I would assume they would use him again.
Yeah, most likely.
Unless he's doing the Smash port, which seems kind of inevitable at this point. But that's for another time.
Yeah. And a game I thought would be really cool, and there was a version of this game on the Wii U, but unfortunately it didn't sell well because of the Wii U, is Pikmin. Pikmin 3 was such a good game. In my opinion, I think it's the best game on the Wii U. And I spent a lot of time playing that. I mean, it looks great. The visuals are amazing. It's just the balance of the game is so good. And just not many people played it. And with a Switch, I feel like if they came out with a Pikmin 4, even if it's really close to Pikmin 3, so you know, a lot more people will experience it.
Yep.
And I feel like that'll be so good for the franchise, because Pikmin 3 was such a good game, but I feel like the franchise isn't at a very good place right now because of the Wii U.
Yep.
And it's just too bad that such a good game was hurt because of the console.
Yep.
So I'm hoping it gets kind of redefined in the Switch and Pikmin can get its step back.
Yep. I'm hoping the 3DS game that they have coming out sells well, because that'll help the whole series as a whole, show that there's interest.
Yeah.
That'll probably help convince Nintendo.
And speaking of that game, hopefully the side scrolling doesn't put too many people off, because I mean that's not
the Chibi Robo effect.
Yeah, I mean that's not what Pikmin is.
Like, hey, let's turn another franchise into a platformer.
So that's just not what Pikmin is. Hopefully it's good. I mean,
it looked interesting still from the trailers.
I mean, it could be a really good game, but for me, it's not what Pikmin is. I mean, I just need the huge open world, and you can go wherever you want to, and exploring is the name of the game. So
the one thing they would have to fix for the Switch version is I feel like the gamepad controls weren't really good. Like the actual way to play Pikmin 3 was still with the Wii remote.
It was. I actually started out playing with the gamepad. Probably for the first 45 minutes, and then I was like, well, this is cool because you can see the map, but you just have so much more precise controls.
I think I used the gamepad controller until you told me, you're using that? Why?
Don't
and I was like, oh, and then I used the Wii remote, and I was like, oh, this game got way better.
So I just stood up a little tray table, put on the gamepad, so you can still see the map, because it's cool. I mean, the gamepad it worked, but
it's meant to be played with that, since you have to swap characters in the two,
Yeah, and especially, like, I'd love to be playing a full world Pikmin game on the go. I mean, that alone just excites me. So, I mean, there's a lot of potential for all of these games.
But I guess if you can take off the Joy-Cons and use them like Wii remotes, that would kind of solve that problem, too, because then you can just do that. But,
definitely.
Well, here's hoping that they'll fix the problems that they had with the gamepad. And
and I think they're on the right track. I really do with this, and I think they're hopefully going to learn, because they really need to hit a home run with the Switch, and I'm excited about it. So there's just so much potential there.
Yep, I'm ready for this reveal so we can see what's really going down. Just give us a date.
Do not disappoint me, Nintendo, please. Please.
We've been too disappointed already.
It's been a long few years.
Don't do this.
I am very hopeful, and all these games we mentioned. I mean, just these games alone would bring so much of the fan base back. The 4 games we mentioned. So I mean, they've got to cater to the Nintendo crowd. I mean,
they got to buckle down and do it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't to our channel already. We'd really appreciate it if you like our content. And stay tuned. We have videos every Monday through Friday. And we have the Switch reveal coming later this week. So we are very excited for that. And we do have a Nintendo Switch Direct that we're actually going to be doing on Saturday morning. So if you want to see us trying to talk about the Switch reveal and see our thoughts on it, stay tuned for that. All right. See you guys next time.
See you guys. Thanks.